those of you whom this is a bit of a problem, or maybe a big problem, keep listening. Point number 2. Today's topic, once again, is success is not sequential. Let me tell you how success really happens. I just told you it's not sequential. Let me tell you what it is. Success happens in jagged lines, ups and downs, big ups, sometimes big downs, sometimes a bunch of downs followed by an up, sometimes a bunch of ups followed by an unexpected down, mixed together, all mixed together. And sometimes you don't know when one or the other is coming. And all mixed in with all that, some big quantum leaps in performance, achievement, and outcome. That's how success actually happens, as opposed to how people think it happens. When I was looking to play professional basketball, my junior year of college was my last college game. I didn't play my senior year because of issues with the coaching staff that was in charge at that time. So between my last game of college and the first game that I played pro was a 2.5 year span. During that 2.5 year span, it was mostly from the outside looking in. I can tell you how I felt about it, but let's just say from the outside looking in, how the other 8 billion people on the planet would have looked at my situation. It was a steady stream of downs. It was basically, I was trending downward for about a 2.5 year span. Then when I signed my first contract, well, actually, I don't want to go there. When I went to my first exposure camp and played pretty well, that was a little bit of an up. I mean, it was cool, but it didn't actually do anything. It gave me something tangible that I could use to leverage. Then when I signed with my first agent, that was another little bit of an up. Again, didn't tangibly change my career in that moment, but it was a step towards that. And then when I got my first contract, then that was a big up. Now, all of a sudden, I went from a person who had been trending downward for over 2 years to a person who was up. I just joined a group that only 2% of people who ever picked up a ball could ever join. 2% of people, period, could ever join. I was officially a professional basketball player. But that was a big quantum leap in success. Let's just call it that. Let's just call it success in that moment when I became a pro player. But you could not have predicted that was going to happen that way from the outside looking in. I could have predicted it because I knew what I was working on, but anyone else couldn't have predicted that because they didn't know. That's what I mean when I say success happens in jagged lines, a bunch of ups and downs mixed together, and then you get these big quantum leaps that all of a sudden, quote unquote, all of a sudden, you're a success. Now, again, you on the inside, knowing what you're doing, you see the success happening and you see it coming before it gets there. But most people from the outside can't see it because they don't know what you're doing. They don't know what's going on in your head. They can't read your thoughts. Only you know that stuff. That's how success really happens.